Huntington, editor of American Handgunner Magazine. Welcome to my backyard. Well, except we're not really in my backyard. We're in Roy's garage. This isn't a TV set. This is my garage out here on our property in Missouri. The reason we're here is because in the March-April 2011 issue of American Handgunner, I talked about how to clean your auto pistol in 5 minutes or less in my insider column. Now, if you read that, you remember probably that I went into pretty good detail. What I'm going to do here today is just give you a quick overview, actually show you some of the things that I talked about in there. And you're going to find it's really fast and easy. Most people overthink it. As a matter of fact, they end up kind of outsmarting themselves. They buy too many products, they spend way too much time doing it, and honestly, you don't even have to clean your gun that often. Now, maybe if it's a concealed carry gun and it's your personal protection gun, I'd take real good care of it. But if it's just your fun guns, the one you just bang away with now and again, I wouldn't waste that much time on it. Give it a good wipe down, put it away. But with modern powders and stuff, it's not like the old days where you have to clean your gun thoroughly every time. I've seen people who detail strip their guns after every time they shoot them, or even once a week just because they like to clean them. And it doesn't take long before they're just like loosey-goosey. You wear them out early, and so frankly, you don't want to do that. The first thing I like to do, now remember the clock's running, is I'll put a little solvent in the cap of the solvent bottle, because you don't want to keep dipping your brush back into the solvent because you're just going to contaminate it with goobers. What I like to do is you can run a patch down through the bore of the barrel if you want to, but this is a little bit faster. What I like to do is get a little solvent working in there, give it a little bit of brushing, and then what we're going to do is just set that aside and sort of basically let it cook for a while. Meanwhile, we'll work on the other parts of the gun. Now, the most important thing that you need to do here is get yourself a good clean rag. I like to use these red mechanics rags, and you want to wipe off as much goo as you can before you actually start using any solvent. What happens is, see that black stuff that's coming off right there? What happens is people right away they start squirting solvent on their gun, and all you end up doing is making some black stinky mud. It runs down in the nooks and crannies, it gets all over everything, and you end up having to have a bigger mess than you had when you just started with. Now, the other miracle gun cleaning tool is a good old-fashioned Q-tip. Now watch this. Now I'm running this up in the rail. See that? Now, had I put solvent in there now, I would just have a black, mucky mess in there. Let's run this around. We'll get in as many nooks and crannies as we can. I think we're pretty much good here, so we'll move on. In this case, they have a captive recoil spring, and honestly, you don't have to take it apart. So in this situation, I just like to just do that dry rag thing, get all the goobers off. You might know this is that clean toothbrush here, so you can also dry brush it like this, get down into the nooks and crannies. I wouldn't actually even do this. I shot the gun so little, and besides, remember these recoil springs, they're protected inside, so they don't really get that dirty. And you can see, even with that brush there, it was really not that dirty. Okay, so we've got the slide pretty much wiped down, recoil spring, the frame's pretty much done. I just would leave the magazine alone. If you really want to, every 6-8 times you're out, you depress the pin on the bottom of the base plate and slide it forward, but you have to capture it because it's got a spring on it. Dump everything out on the workbench, and you just dry it out on the inside and put it back together. You don't want to oil it or anything. It doesn't need it. If you oil it, it's just going to collect goobers and dust and stuff like that. So now, this barrel's been cooking for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and run just a little bit more. There we go. That's going to loosen up anything that's in there. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and wipe off the outside like we did before. Now, the barrel will have a little more stuff on it from shooting powder residue, jacket stuff. I like to use this kind of a jag, and it's a jag that you just push through. The old kind with the slot on it, they seem like they're a good idea, but think about this for a minute. If you push it through the barrel and then pull it back through, all you're doing is you're making it clean, you're making it dirty, you're making it clean, you're making it dirty. See, this way, you push it right through and let it come out the end. See that? So there we go. Now you can see there's just a little bit of green there, and that's the copper fouling comes out. So let's go ahead and put another patch through there. Now it's clean now, so I'll probably move it back and forth a little bit in there just to sort of scrub out the little nooks and crannies. Let's look here. See, we're pretty clean. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm so darn lazy, I'd probably leave it just like this. The critical area is the chamber, and the chamber, when I look down inside, is clean. It's clean and shiny. So if there's just a little bit of fouling in the barrel, who really cares? Oiling. Oiling is a big thing. Everybody over oils. What most people do at this point is they go like that, and they squirt lubricant on their gun. And all you do there is make a big mess for everybody. And when you shoot, it splatters your face and you look like a goofball. What you should do is put the lube on the Q-tip. See that? Now, put the lube where it belongs. On an auto pistol, the slide rails. And you see how easy this is. Just wherever it looks like there's a little shine to it, down inside you can see where the barrel rides and locks up a little bit here. Now on the recoil spring, you can see where it's shiny. Let's give it a little bit of lube there. I can see a little lube maybe at the end there. Now if you really want to at this point, since it is dry, you don't really have to, but if you want to, I would probably put maybe one drop. Frankly, I'd probably even wipe some of that out. It doesn't take much. We haven't spent a lot of time doing this. Now on the barrel here, you're going to see wherever it's a little bit shiny is where you want to put a little lube. I get a clean Q-tip since Q-tips are cheap. A little drop of oil. Now you see that we probably used, I spilled a little bit, but if you count the oil that we used, we probably only used about maybe 4 drops total. So slide rails. I probably don't even need to do this since we got the slide rails on the actual slide. So let's see here. Wherever there's some shiny spots, little shiny spots there where the barrel locks up. I see a little bit here. Looks pretty good to me actually. What I would also caution you against is don't be squirting a lot of oil down in this action. You rarely have to clean it. If you use Action Blaster, maybe you want to get back in here and put a little oil in it. But other than that, you just really don't have to. All right, so now we've wiped it off, run a patch through it, cleaned it, oiled it. We'll reassemble it. Let's see here. There we go. And at this point, I just like to run it a few times just to make sure that everything fits, everything works, the gun still functions, it's safe, we know it's unloaded, dry fire it, still goes click. Okay, we're pretty happy. What I'll do here is a final wipe off, just like that, and you have a perfectly clean gun. Well, hopefully you can see that was actually pretty easy to do. Like I said before, most people really overthink this and you will outsmart yourself. You just don't need many tools at all, and chances are good. You use the oil that you have, the solvent that you have, the brush that you have, get a clean rag, a few Q-tips, and you're in business. 5 minutes is about all it takes, and if you're taking more time than that, then you're probably overdoing it. Now, if you have a really cruddy, filthy gun, okay, it might take a few more minutes, but frankly, think about that 5-minute rule, and then you'll spend more time shooting and less time cleaning guns. Hey, thanks for coming visiting with me, and I'll see you next time on Roy's Backyard. And hopefully we'll actually be in my backyard next time.